What's up YouTube? For today's video, we have a full Monster Hunter team. Now this was for Bladesborn. What they actually did was on my Twitch, they donated over the course of 2 months around 60 gifts to the subscription. So people could use this subscription on Twitch. And this is a small thank you to them for doing that. So they do love Monster Hunter and I want to do a team for them. If you haven't followed me on Twitch, people, make sure you do. Link is in the top of the description. We are trying to do streams there 3 to 4 times a week and maybe even more. Thanks to all the people that rocked up for yesterday's one. It was very, very funny and I may or may not have eaten a pickle on stream. All right, so we have a battle on my, I think this was on my Discord against Huntdown21. We've got a Smeagol lead and I've got my Meowth lead. Now, I actually haven't played Monster Hunter. Is it a good game? What do you guys think of it? Let me know in the comments. Also, what do you think is the scariest monster? Is it the Boogeyman? Let me know in the chat, people. So we got a Dugong lead here, and we're gonna have the fake out of this one. So it's a physical set. On this Meowth, we've got a Hone Claws, Flail, Knockoff, and Protect. We've got the item Focus Sash as well. So the item is to get myself down to 1 health and go for the Flail. However, in this case, it didn't happen because it did actually have the fake out. So now we got a dive set here. I was like, what is this set? So we got fake out, we got dive. So now I can go for the protect. I should have probably gone for protect earlier on, but I was thinking it could have been a different set, or I had Ice Shard, so it didn't really matter. So anyway, now I'm going to go for the Flail. It's going to use Ice Shard, so I knew it would probably have Ice Shard. Ice Shard takes me all the way down to 7 health, and I'm able to use the nearly a full-powered Flail there, almost taking out the Dugong. So not a bad lead there. I thought I might be able to use my Meowth a little bit later on, because I am on low health. I might be able to fire off another Flail before I go down. So now we've got the Ice Shard coming for the Dugong again, obviously, and I can go for the Wild Charge. This is actually a physical set. But let's go over what it is. We got Howl, Wild Charge, Ice Fang, and Fire Fang. We got the Max Attack and Max Speed, and we got the Ariados coming into the Wild Charge. It doesn't take it all that bad. So now I've got Fire Fang on this one. I've got the ability of Static and Iapa Berry as the item. So the item is get as many hails up as you can, and then just basically try and sweep the opponent. Obviously, the Iapa Berry is making up for Wild Charge, doing recall damage for to yourself. So Ariados is down. That's not a bad result. And now we've got the Smeagol coming in. So I thought, well, let's go for Wild Charge. It's probably going to use Spore, but I don't really have a lot to actually swap into. So almost taking it out there with the Wild Charge. I say it probably would have had Focus Sash, and now it's going to go for the Spore and put my Manectric to sleep. Or I could have had max health too. So anyway, I'm asleep. I thought, well, I'm not going to stay into this because I don't want it to set up on me for starters. And let's go into my Meowth. Now, on the swap, something very funny happened. The Smeagol transformed into my Meowth, so now it's going to be able to use Flail, and it's going to be able to have like a powered up Flail because it's also on low health. It outspeeds me and takes me out with the Flail. Oh, the salt, people, the salt. Anyway, so my Meowth goes down to a Smeagol transformed into a Meowth. Now I'm going to swap in the Vespoid Queen. Now, this set was actually pretty funny. It actually gets Fell Stinger, so I wanted to make use of that one. So we got Choice Scarf. I still get outsped. And we're going to go for the Fell Stinger and take out the Meowth. I love that. Like, my Choice Scarf Pokemon still gets outsped by a Smeagol with Transform. So anyway, that one is down. I get a nice, that was like a +3 in attack, which is really nice. I've got Fury Cutter, Fell Stinger, Aerial Ace, and Pursue. So we got the ability is Unnerve, and the item is Choice Scarf, Max Attack, and Max Speed. So we got the Octopussy coming in here. It's going to go for Protect. So as soon as I see Protect, right, I know that it's got Moody. It's a very grumpy, Moody Octopus. So it's going to get an attack rise there, and it's going to get an accuracy drop. So I was like, okay, that's not too bad. Let's go for another Fell Stinger on the artillery and see what happens. So it does some pretty nice damage. It's about a 2-hit KO. So now it's going to get the substitute. It just gets that substitute up, and that's going to have some leftovers as the item too. So obviously they're trying to stall out Moody with Protect and Sub until they get the right stats they need. Okay, so they get an evasion. I was like, oh, here, guys, here we go again. So, going for my Fell Stinger again, thankfully it lands on the substitute, and that obviously is going to be enough to break the substitute as well. So that's pretty good. That was the annoying bit out of the way. However, we still have to land another attack on the Octopi. So now it's going to go for the Scald there, doing okay damage to my Vespa Queen. And now I didn't get a burn though, which was really nice. I was actually really fearing the burn too. Okay, so it's going to get a Moody boost there, and it's going to get an attack rise and a special attack drop, which isn't too bad. So now I'm going to go for the, actually went for the Fellstinger again, and we have the Octopi going for the Protect again. So Fellstinger is going to hit the Protect and not going to do anything. It's kind of just a matter of time before I take this out, or is it? So anyway, it's getting some more leftovers, and now it's going to get another Moody boost. It's going to get a defense boost. I'm like, oh, here we go. So now going for the Fellstinger on the Octillery, and hit, which is nice. And it doesn't take it. It lives on like 1 health. Anyway, so now the Octillery is going to get off the Scald, and that's going to take my Vesper Queen. Vespoid Queen, man, that's such a troll name. That's down, and the Octillery is somehow still alive. Man, that defensive boost saved its little behind. So it's going to get another boost, which is Moody, and it's going to get another defense boost. And it's going to get an actually drop. Okay, so now we're going to swap in I hope I say these names right, Malfestio. So on this set, it was more of a tanky set. We got the Artillery going for another frickin' Protect here. So the set was as follows. It was a tanky, fixed damage, trolling set. So we got... that was a very nice explanation. So we got Facade, we've got Roost, we've got Nightshade, and we've got Psycho Shift. So we got the item as Flame Orb, we got Max Health, Max Special Defense. So we're very bulky on the special side, and we can, we can shift those Flame Orbs to other people so they can be burned, preferably physical attackers. All right, so I dodged that attack, and we're going for that Facade there. But Octopi lives on 1 health again. Why does it all, guys, seriously, can a video go by where I don't live on 1 health? At least to get the plug one merch. So anyway, so the other ability, we got on this is Insomnia, so I can't be put to sleep, which can be handy, which I probably should have swapped into the Smeagol before, but I didn't want to. Anyway, self-roast there. So now we've got the Octillery go for another pet. Can we just take Octopussy out already? So it's going to get another Moody boost here and some leftovers recovery. Okay, so I do have the Nightshade. Now, I didn't use Nightshade before because I know they've got a normal type Pokemon. So I was thinking, I've got to take this out before I reveal it, or they might be able to swap it in. You'll be able to see what the normal type Pokemon is as the battle goes on. So anyway, it's going to go for the Scald. Since I'm very bulky in special defense, it's not going to do a lot to me. And I'm already burned anyway, so it doesn't even matter. So going for the Nightshade, and that's going to be enough to take out the Octillery, which is good with fixed damage. I was glad I had a fixed damage move there, because we could have been battling that Octopussy for like the entire battle. All right, well, we basically did anyway. So the next Pokemon we got coming in is the Eevee. So this is the Pokemon I thought might be able to come in onto my Nightshades. Okay, so now here we cue long-ass Eevee move that goes for like 10 minutes. So at this point in the game, things were looking pretty good. My Meowth was down, my Vespiquen was down, but I still had 4 Pokemon remaining on this one. Also, I wanted to say, guys, on the Twitch streaming, I am actually going to do some other games beside Pokemon as well. So if you got any games, other games you'd like me to see, or like see me do, like let me know in the comment section. Also, I thought about doing like a random games down there each, I don't know, just like during the middle of the week. So if you want to, the schedule and stuff I should put that on there. And if you guys haven't checked the stream out, they're very good. I try and do them at least 4 times a week. So it's just pretty chill and fun thing to do. And the notifications actually get sent out, guys. It's very nice. Anyway, so we got the scumbag Eevee move there. I'm gonna go for the Psycho Shift, hoping that this is a physical set. If it's not, at least I'm gonna do some damage to it. Okay, so I heal my own burn there and give the Eevee that little burn. So I got a sizable chunk of health left, and now we got the Eevee going. We got the swap here, and Eevee actually didn't go for a normal physical type move. It actually went for a normal special move, being Hyper Voice. I was like, oh my goodness, this is not good. So Manectric's going to go down. I didn't really care about Manectric. I was happy to kind of sack it, but I was kind of a bit bummed that it wasn't a physical set because, my Psycho, I could have gone for, Facade and done a little bit more damage. But that's how it is. So the best thing I could do here is go for Facade. And now we've got the Hyper Voice coming from the Eevee. It does pretty big damage to me considering I'm a very bulky in special defense and health. I'm going to go for my powered up Facade there. Since it does have a +1 in defense, it doesn't do as much as I would have liked. Okay, so there's nothing I do here. I'm on my last little owl legs here, and it's going to take me out with another, with a stored power this time. So after seeing its moves, right, I was like, okay, so it's got Hyper Voice, it's got stored power. What Pokemon would be good to swap into that? Tyranitar. So we're going to go into Tyranitar. Now this, of course, was the special Tyranitar. Now, people, I had an amazing little bloopers with this Tyranitar. Make sure you watch this whole video and check it out, because you do not want to miss the salt of this Tyranitar. Anyway, so I'm going to hit it by the Hyper Voice. Still does a lot of damage considering. I'm going to go for the Dank Pulse here. Now, Eevee does have a +1 in special defense, and it's coming from Tyranitar's, terrible special attack stat, so it does actually live. So swapping the Tyranitar out here and going into my, I'm going to see if I can say this name right. Anyway, we've got the hyper voice on the EV before I say try and pronounce this name. So we got a Volvidion, is that it? Volvidion? Like Volvo. Anyway, so I'm going to get my berry there, and it's got my wiki berry, and it's going to heal me up, and the EV is going to go down. Now, usually I wouldn't burn up my berry that easily, but I did have a strategy in mind. Don't you worry, guys, you boys always got a strategy. So now we've got the Dewgong coming back in. Now we know that it's got Fake Out, we know that it's got Ice Shard. Those moves aren't going to do too much to me. So, anyway, I thought, well, I could either go for a Fire Spin or a Toxic, or I've got Recycle on this set. Now, this set I actually was kind of similar to that. I think it was I always mess up the monkeys' names. I think it was like the Simi... It was a Simi-Paw or the water monkey, the green monkey, one of those monkeys, right, had this exact set. It was very, very trolly. So I tried to run on this one because it does have Gluttony. Now, Gluttony encourages you to use the berry, obviously, early. So say these berries, normally activate into low quarter health. This will actually activate at half health with the Gluttony, causing you to eat, basically making you being a pig. So eating my recycle, or by recycling my wiki berry and eating it, eating my recycle. Hey, guys, eating my recycle bin, roast me in the comments. So anyway, we got the dive coming from the Dewgong there. I'm going to eat my berry. So this was inevitable that I could beat this. The only thing I was actually worried about was a critical hit. Now, Dewgong had to spend a turn underwater, chilling, where I could go for the Fire Spin, right? Okay, so we've trapped the Dewgong in there, and Dewgong is going to go down to 1 Fire Spin, which is good. So we got Toxic. I did actually went over the EVs in this one. I should go over them. This is surprisingly bulky. It took a lot of people off guard and worked very nicely. So we got the Lilligant coming out here. I was like, what's this going to use? So it's going to go for the Leech set. Okay, I'm like, oh, it's not a Quiver set, so that's good. Obviously the only thing about this set, if it did get set up on it, could be a problem. But well, on the special side, it does kind of have Amnesia, so that wouldn't be too much of a problem. So we got Recycle, Toxic, Fire Spin, and Amnesia, Ability, Gluttony, Wiki Berry is the item, Max Health, and Max Defense. So it was quite a trolley set, but worked pretty well. It's just a trapping recycle set, so you can just recycle over and over. Obviously, stuff like Toxic would shut it down, and just really, really powerful special moves, like like a Hydro Pump from like a Choice Spec Stab Water Pokemon. However, it's going to use a Quiver Dance on the Lilligant, so it's like, okay, so the Pokemon left, well, like especially Tyranitar, wasn't really equipped to go against a Quiver Dance Lilligant. I did have Fire Blast in this set, but I knew there wasn't no way I was going to live a Petal Dance. As soon as I seen Quiver Dance, I was like, yeah, Petal Dance is coming. And a lot of the other time it does run, I can run Hidden Power as well. Hidden Power Ground isn't too bad because you hit those fire types incoming. Anyway, so the Toxic is up against it, but the only problem is I'm going to have to leave some other attacks. Now I'm thinking, well, like, first things first, I need to get up my recycle. I need to recycle my Wiki Berry back here. So now we got the Petal Dance coming from the Lilligant. Does some massive damage to me considering I resist it, and it's going to heal itself up with the Shell Belt. Guys, Shell Belt, amazing item. So going for the recycle here. Now I thought, I can keep going for a recycle here, but the problem is, all Lilligant has to do really is go for another, it can just go for another Quiver Dance and I'm going to be toast. So I was thinking, I need to get a Amnesia in here somewhere. So anyway, we got the Lilligant going for another Petal Dance against my Heatmor, and it's still doing like really, really good damage to me, and it's going to get some more. It's going to get some more Shell Bell recovery. I went for the Amnesia there because I thought, the only way... This is me thinking, I'm like, Lilligant can't beat me, so they're going to have to think that I'm going to go, for another Gluttony. Then they can just go for another Quiver Dance. Use Petal Dance. But unfortunately for me, they just kept using Quiver Dance, Leaf Storm for some... My God, Petal Dance for some reason and took me out there. God damn it. I was getting my leaves, my petals, everything was mixed up there. But thank you for that first battle. Let's get on to the second one. I need a drink of water too. So we got a battle on my Discord as well. This was against Moland. We got a Ariados lead. This time I lead things off with the, I nearly called it Hoot, the Knockdown. Okay, so as you guys know, this was the Trolley set. However, we have the Ariados go for the Toxic set. So like, I might be able to Psycho Shift Toxic off to someone and then get my Flame Orb, and then Psycho Shift the Flame Orb off to someone. That'd be like really, really like cool. I could get rid of like, 2 status. Anyway, so go for the Nightshade in case it has like a focus slash or something. As soon as I seen it as a lead, I know that it's got Scum Web, all the usual stuff that it normally has. So it's going to drop that web there. It's not going to affect, it's not going to affect my Vespiquen at all. All the other Pokemon, and obviously my Noctow's not going to affect, but that wasn't a really fast Pokemon anyway. The main one it's really going to affect was my Manectric and my Meowth. Apart from that, it really wasn't such a big issue. However, they were some of the better Pokemon on a team, so I guess it kind of was an issue. So we got the Leech Life coming from the Ariados, just getting a little bit of health back, which is kind of annoying because I'm only doing fixed damage with the Nightshade there. And Nightshade looks really, really cool. Okay, so obviously Toxic, the Toxic Thread, right? What the Toxic does, it drops you, Toxic Thread, it drops your speed by 1 stage, and it does a fixed amount of damage to you. It doesn't like stack up like Toxic, it just like does a fixed amount. Anyway, so taking Ariados out with the Nightshade, however, since my Noctowl did have that poison sustained earlier on, it's going to go down. So it's sort of like, it was like a stalemate at the start. The owl goes down to the spider, and the spider goes down to the owl. And my printer just started making like really, really weird noises if you heard that. Anyway, so we got the little rat coming in here, and I'm going to swap in my Meow. So I got caught in the sticky web. I was thinking, what should I do here? Let's see what move they're going to use. So I thought, let's go for Protect, right? Let's just see what they're going to use. So the Protect is up there, which is nice. And now they're going to go for the U-turn. So like, okay, that's not too bad. Now on this Meowth set, I've got 0 IVs in defense, and I've got 0 IVs in health as well. So I'm going to get hit very hard on the defensive side. As you can see, U-turn does a lot of damage. That's exactly what I wanted it to do. Because I want to put myself down into low range with the flail. Unfortunately, this little shit comes in, and it's not going to do anything to it. Because it's got the Scummy Wonder Gun. Now, I do have Knockoff on this set, which is going to be my saving grace. You can't use Shadow Sneak because that's a Ghost type move. And it's going to have a Focus Sash, obviously. So that's the Shedinja's Focus Sash down. And that crit mattered, guys. We all know that crit on 1 health mattered. So now it's going to go for the X-Scissor, and that's going to take out my Meowth. But that's cool. I guess I got rid of the Focus Sash on the Shedinja. I would have loved, I would have loved that Shedinja to come out against the Noctowl and me Psycho Shift the Flame Orb. That would have been that would have been so funny. I've actually done that before to Shedinja. It's quite funny. So now we've got the Shadow Sneak coming from the Shedinja. Does pretty good damage to me. I went for the Pursuit, so there's no way Shedinja was ever going to come out of that alive. If it swapped, it was going to go down. I was kind of actually hoping they'd swap, but it didn't really matter anyway because they went down. The bad thing about it was I was actually locked into Choice Scarf Pursuit, which wasn't exactly going to hit the hardest in the world. Okay, so now interesting, the Raticate comes in. I could have easily not been Choice Scarf. That's going to swap out there. And now we've got the Heatmor coming back in. So I thought I can get a Toxic up on this thing. The only thing I was actually worried about was if it had Facade, that could be a bit of a problem. But it does like bugger it. Let's see if we can get what we can do against this. So it's going to go for the Crunch. It does nothing, so I'm very, very boggy. Obviously, they found out that I'm very boggy set. And on the second Crunch, they get a lucky defense drops, which sucks. So that's going to make me not as bulky. However, the good thing about that, it may encourage them to stay in and start using Crunch Ball, and then I'll have more time to set up the Toxic and Fire Spin against them. And I know even with -1 defense, I can easily beat this Raticate. You know, obviously outside of some big critical hits. So we've got the Poison up on the Rat. I can go for the Fire Spin now and trap it in. So now we got the Crunch again from the Rat. It's staying. It's go for more crunches. It's about a 3-hit KO. I'm just going to keep recycling my berry over and over. So I found my Wiki Berry. So now I could go for the Fire Spin on the Rat. It'll be trapped in. However, we know that it does have U-turn too. So there is a possibility that it could always use U-turn. If that's the case, I'm fine with that. I'll be able to get like a free recycle up on the swap. Or I might even be able to get a Toxic on an incoming Pokemon. We got the Ariados out the way, so it won't be able to absorb the Toxic either. Okay, so we got the Fire Spin doing some nice damage. So I was guessing kind of like, as soon as they've seen the Fire Spin and the Toxic going up, they'll probably use U-turn. Now they're going to have a Berry as well, so I was quite happy to get rid of that Berry. That was good. So that one is burnt up. That was the Figgy Berry. Okay, so now this is where I was expecting the U-turn here. So we got the Raticate go for the U-turn. Like, I kind of thought it would go for that. And it's not going to do too much damage, but it is going to allow them to get out of that Fire Spin trap combo. Like, that's the only thing that kind of counters like Pokemon that can swap like Volt Switch, U-turn, Parting Shot, those kind of things. However, and we got an opposing Heatmor coming in. Heatmor versus Heatmor, guys. Okay, so I'm going to get my Wiki Berry back. Now, I was a little bit worried about this matchup in case they had like a super effective move. So I went into my Manectric just to see what it was going to be. Okay, so we got the Sticky Web on my Manectric, and we got the Heatmor going for the knockoff. So like, okay, that's good that I swapped. That would have got rid of my Berry. So I'm going to get a Static there. That's kind of handy. That definitely was going to... I'm not sure what EVs they're running in speed. If they're running like a more of a speedy one, it definitely mattered. So going for the Howl, boosting my attack by 1 stage there. Now, I was guessing they probably would have Fire Lash. That's another, common move that it has. So it's got knockoff, fire lash. Now, I didn't think it'd have sucker punch because it already had knockoff, so I didn't think they'd be running both of them. So I just went for the wild charge, and it does pretty good damage to Heatmor. I'm kind of happy with that, and I'm going to obviously go down to the recall there. So Manectric did a pretty good job there. We got the Fire Lash. The Fire Lash is a really good move too. Has that defense drop, which is like really, it's like signature too. Okay, so now we're going to go into the Tyranitar. Man, Tyranitar's like MVP in a lot of these battles. Even with like the trashy set, it was quite good. So now we got the Heatmor, obviously scared of any kind of like rock or ground type move there, and we got the Torterra coming in. Now Torterra definitely wasn't an easy swap in for Tyranitar because I actually had on this set Blizzard. And the only problem is I actually had the sticky web up, which is actually going to make me slower. So they were very lucky they had the sticky web up. I was going to go for the Blizzard then, these Blizzard Z moves, so I never would have missed either. So we had the Icium Z Blizzard, we had Fire Blast. I had like multiple ways to hit it. I had Ancient Power and Dank Pulse, max health and max special defense. However, Wood Hammer is actually going to destroy Tyranitar. It's a very powerful move coming from Torterra too. I really like Torterra. It's such a really cool Pokemon. So it's got such a good like against this team. I was like looking at it, it's got Earthquake, it's got Wood Hammer. And if it's got Rock Slide, that's like super effective against my Tyranitar, my Manectric, my Heatmor, and my Vespiquen, and my Noctowl. Like, it's a really good Pokemon against all of them. So I was like, crap, guys, this is... I don't know how much more I can do this. So I'm down to my Vespiquen. I could go for the Fell Stinger. However, they swap out. Maybe they're thinking I'm going to do like a flying type move. So they're going to go into the Heatmor, unfortunately. So I'm going to go for the Fell Stinger here. Fell Stinger is not going to do too much to Heatmor. It's going to take me like 2 more to take it out. So I was actually hoping for like a Parahax here. However, we got the Fell Stinger coming from the Vespiquen. I was like, please crit, please crit. And it doesn't. And Heatmor is going to be able to go for the Fire Lash here. Instead of going for Fire Lash, he actually went for the knockoff there, which is going to get rid of my Choice Scarf. So I was like, oh, that's not good. Now I'm going to be slow. Going for Fell Stinger on the Heatmor again, and that is going to be enough to take it out. So that's a +3 in attack. And it's also freed me up to do some other moves, you know, beside Fell Stinger, being like Fury Cutter and Aerial Ace. Not that I'd probably be using Fury Cutter, because Fury Cutter takes, you know, a couple of turns to power up, unless you're a Venusaur. And now we've got the Raticate coming in here. I could go for the Fell Stinger again. It's going to be able to outspeed me since I don't have a Choice Scarf up anymore. I tanked that Crunch, and now I'm able to use Fell Stinger again on the Raticate, and Raticate is going to go down in one shot there. So we got +6 in attack now with Fell Stinger. I've got Aerial Ace as well, which is some nice stab. We still got 2 Pokemon remaining. Okay, now this was pretty funny. So we got the Meowstic coming in here. So I was like, okay, I can go for the Fell Stinger, but it's probably going to outspeed me. So now they're going to go for the Shadow Bell. I was like, okay, well, you know, that's a good game there. And my Vespiquen tanked it. How did that tank it? I don't even know. I was very, very surprised that it actually tanked that one. And that's going to go down to another Fell Stinger, taking that one out. Fell Stinger is a really, it's a really, really cool move. Obviously, it's kind of best on like Mega Beedrill and things like that, but it's good to see it on other Pokemon. So the last Pokemon is the Torterra there, and I'm going to go for the Fell Stinger, and I'm at +6, so that's going to take the Torterra down. So Vespiquen kind of like Fell Stingered through at the end of the battle, and that one is game. Hope you guys enjoyed both these battles, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.